Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Wilcox, and welcome to today's self-care tutorial for how to release your glutes. So, your butt, all of the muscles that are deep in there that connect into your hip, into your sacrum. The sciatic nerve goes through there. There are a lot of reasons that this area gets tight. If you have fallen on your butt, who hasn't, I feel like. But for me specifically, I was injured when I was about 16. I was trying to show off for my friends and thought for some reason that since I had never done a jump on a snowboard, that all of a sudden I could jump across a road. I have no idea what I was thinking. I was 16, but I jumped up off of the berm that was on the side of the road and managed to fall flat on my tailbone directly on a very icy road. And I actually had a hard time sitting for almost 2 years after that. But at 16, I wasn't going to say anything. I just got right up, acted like I was fine. I couldn't really sit driving home. I was doing this thing like holding myself up with the steering wheel. It was really uncomfortable. It was hard to sit in seats for a really long time. And then for a long time after that, even though it was a lot better, I still had a hard time anytime I was sitting like in an airplane or in a car for a long period of time where I couldn't really shift enough to get the pressure off of my tailbone. So that is one way that you can injure those areas. But I will say, oh my gosh, myofascial release changed my life. I had some work that I did myself with some tools like ball and some other things I'm going to show you today. But also, I had some incredible practitioners work on me and they helped me immensely. And I no longer have pain in my tailbone. It's incredible. Yay! So that's just one way that those things can happen. But this is a really excellent tool to be able to use at home for your self-care in between your appointments. Make sure that you are seeing a myofascial release therapist because that is by far the best, but this is a great way to treat yourself in between your sessions. So the first thing I'm going to use is this ball. This is a 4-inch it's an inflatable ball, so I left it kind of squishy. You don't want it to be super duper hard for the myofascial release aspect of it because we're going to be holding for a long period of time. So I will say the glutes tend to have a lot more tissue. So if you are a person that you use a ball like this and you're like, man, I literally don't feel anything, if it just feels like you're laying on a pillow, then I would say try something harder. So maybe a tennis ball, or I'll also show you, this is called a Thumbby. If you really want to get directly into some spots, this little guy will, because as you can see, it has a point on the top. It's still a little squishy because it's made of silicone, but it doesn't have near as much give as this ball, and obviously you can tell this has a point. This does not. So I will say for some of my tougher cases or for clients that have a lot of tissue and are having a hard time getting through that tissue to get to more specific areas of their glutes, I will recommend something like this. Or if you use this and you're like, man, I just really don't feel anything, something more like a tennis ball or this little guy, you're definitely going to feel it. So let's get started. I'll meet you down on the floor. All right, welcome to the floor. So I'm going to start by using this ball because this is the one that I suggest for everyone to start with. You don't want to start with something too hard because it could injure. So all you're going to do, you have a lot of space throughout these glute muscles and area. You can go closer to your tailbone. You can go closer to your sacrum, which is the triangle-shaped bone in the middle of your pelvis. That's like at the bottom of your spine. You could go out more towards your hip. It all depends on where you find is the place that you are needing the release. And don't worry, if you don't need it, it's not going to hurt anything. It's just going to be really nice for your tissues anyways. But all you're going to do is lift up into a bridge if you can. If you cannot lift up into a bridge, you can roll onto your side and also get it under that way. For me, it's easier and I can access more of the areas and I can kind of sit down and be like, oh, no, no. Oh, there's the spot. So in this area, especially because we're using the bigger ball, it's not going to feel like if someone had their elbow jammed into your glute or the Thumbby jammed into your glute. It's going to feel just like a little more surface area. It's not going to be super jabby, which is good to start with. So you can straighten out your other leg if you want to put more weight through that. You can also straighten out that leg, see how that feels. Now in this case, when I straightened out this leg, it arched my back a little bit. So I always suggest having a little bit of a knee bend, but kind of play around with that, see how it feels. You can roll up and down, side to side. Like for me, mine's a little bit, my tightness is a little bit more on the outside of my glute today. So I'm going to use my other leg to kind of push myself over that ball, and that feels better to me. Now, if you get way over here and you're like, oh, that feels good, but how am I supposed to hold this for 5 minutes? Get a pillow or something and put it under your other butt cheek so that it keeps you supported, but still able to let your weight go down through that ball. Now, just by laying here, even though initially I didn't really feel a whole lot, it didn't feel really tense or anything like that. It's just when I was moving around, I was like, oh, that feels like the spot that maybe has more tension than the other spots I tried. But just by laying on here for these, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, I am starting to feel stuff in my glutes. So this could be like your piriformis, your glute med, your glute max. There's just a bunch of other really deep muscles in that area that you could be feeling releases through the muscles, but most likely just through the general fascia that is throughout that entire area. So once you get there, hold for 5 minutes. So that is the premise of myofascial release. It's 5 minute minimum, and oh, there goes Scout. But it's 5 minutes minimum is what we like, unless you're feeling like you need to get off of it sooner, please do. But if you're going for the ultimate actual myofascial release, at least 5 minutes. If you feel like you need to stay longer, stay a little longer. But that's kind of the minimum time that we want you to be doing these releases for the ultimate benefit. So, as always, you are the only one that knows how you feel. So listen to your body, let it lead you. And as you're doing this release, if you feel sensations in any other areas of your body, that is your body telling you, hey, that this other area might benefit from a release. You might feel it up in your head, in your chest, in your back, down into your feet. Just listen to it. And if you find somewhere that you're like, oh, I should really release that too, go to my library of videos and see if there's a video there describing the best way to release that. If not, put in the comments that you'd like to see a video about that, and I will make it as soon as possible. So have some happy releasing, and again, make sure that you're seeing your own myofascial release therapist, and then this is supplemental in between, and then I will be making my next video with the Thumbby. All right, I hope that you have a wonderful day.